You know, I think when you get into fruit or any kind of farming thing, you probably get into it because you're driven by this longing to do that, you know, and you get a lot of satisfaction out of these. I planted these trees with the help of some friends a year that I was just dead sick with cancer. And I was being told I probably wouldn't live too long at the time, you know. So here it is 3 years later, and the trees are about ready to bear fruit, and cancer's back. But it's a real, you're almost driven, I think, in a way. You know, it's almost like the trees, you're being fed by the trees, but it isn't necessarily the fruit that's feeding you, you know. For me, it's like being outside and this whole thing of watching something grow and caring for it over time. And, you know, like I planted these trees on this first row here about 9-10 years ago now. And they were just little babies like that when I started out. And now I'm getting hundreds of boxes of peaches every year off of them. And you make a little bit of money, but truthfully, it's more of a lifestyle decision than anything. If I had a bigger acreage, I could actually make a pretty good living. But with a small-scale farm, all you're going to do is supplement your income, you know, which is the way it's always been for Charlene and I. We've always pursued our interests, and we'll do 2 or 3 different things to make a living in Palisade. That's just what you have to do. Off of just a few acres, I actually make enough to pay my mortgage. So it's kind of like a self-perpetuating thing. But I didn't really get into it to do that. I got into it because I grew up in a farming community, and I've always loved being in touch with the land and growing things. And I'm not really a vegetable farmer. I'm not really a gardener. I'm more of an interested more in orchardry. Although I have been growing flowers now for 7 or 8 years. I started to tell you how come I got planted these little trees right here though. And my sister-in-law is from Japan, and she imports tea. And a few years ago, she brought the farmer that she imports her tea from here to the place. And I was pretty sick at the time, and I really didn't think I could plant anything up here, but this little Japanese tea farmer said to me, "You're a criminal." And I was like, "I'm a criminal?" And he goes, "In Japan, this land would be growing food for people." And I just thought, well, you know, he's right. I am a criminal. I better even though I don't have the strength or the health to do this, somehow or other I got to get something going there. So a bunch of my friends showed up. We ordered, I think there's about 350 peach trees in this young block right here. And so we ordered up the peach trees, and sick as I was, we managed to get them all planted. Now here it is. So it's kind of funny. You know, it's all a matter of perspective, I guess. For me, it's like I love being outside. I love doing this. I like seeing the results. The fruits of my labor, so to speak, are more in what the tree looks like and how, you know, did I take care of it? Did I feed it? Did I water it? You know, we were very lucky to buy this piece of land when we did. We spent about 20 years making it a better piece of land. It was actually an abandoned coal mine. Like I said, it's more of a lifestyle thing than it is a money thing. But having said that, Charlene and I have always hoped that sometime when we sell this place because of age or illness, that some young couple is going to get it. Maybe somebody that's interested in raising a family here, you know, and they'll be able to do just what we did. They'll be able to pay for their life as they go along without going into a huge amount of debt and having a shelter over their head that they make a mortgage on every month, you know, from outside. Whereas here, you can make your mortgage with your land. So in a lot of ways, it's a pretty cool deal. I'm hoping that this place just stays in agriculture forever. We'll see. Hey, I'm hoping everybody will help me for a minute pull out a piece of plastic out of the trailer. Open it. See what we got here. Now this is almost right. I don't even think I'll cut it. Let's just
Too much?
yeah, I got plenty of it, so we'll just put it in double like this, huh?
Yeah.
You missed the caterer.
How was it?
Well, there's some for you upstairs. Actually, I forgot to tell you to come for lunch. Charlene made enchiladas and Pinko to something or other.
Pico de gallo, is that it? Pico de gallo?
Let's see here. I don't see any reason why we couldn't just lay this in and I'll wrap the whole thing up.
Sure, why not?
Like a taco.
Taco.
And I'll hop up in the middle and try to drag as much. Piece of cake. No matter how wet the road gets, at least the boxes will be dry. All right. So the wages aren't union scale.
I feel old now.
You were old when you started.
I know, I feel older.
Thanks, Gary, man. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
So how long have you known John and Charlene?
I bought a house here about 12 years ago. And they ran the cafe then. You know, coming from Chicago, where I knew neighborhoods. And I came out here and met John and Char and began to understand the community. And certainly never lived in a farm community before. Well, I've been appreciating the harvest, people and foods ever since. It's a wonderful place.
It is, isn't it?
Well, take something off a tree and take a bite. And you can't live like that very many places.
So tell me again, you're from Chicago originally?
Yeah.
So you grew up in Chicago? or-
Yeah, and I'm a city kid too. I lived all my life, the first 70 years in the city. And then I come out here because of the mountains and the canyons. And then I found all the bonuses between the people and the community and the great harvest of fresh picked, going to the farm to eat stuff that's picked that day. Man, you can't get there no other way. It's wonderful. And it's second to the people that live here, farmers. It's such a different way of life. Where I come from, where I am, I don't know how long it took me to get here, but it was worth the wait. Now it's worth the wait.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, I figured we could walk up to the end and back, and that way I can sort of reconnoiter and see what I got left, figure out my strategy, and I'll show you a few things about peaches as we go along the way too. See, there's a nice looking peach, but we didn't pick it because it isn't quite there, you know. And by quite there, I mean the color and the size. So I'm gonna run some water down this row now this week. And then by the end of this coming week, these little ones right here will have gotten a little more size to them. Then I can come back and pick them one more time. And then after everything's been picked, I let people come through and get all the little hangers that just, you know, like what we tasted over there, that's what they taste like, you know, they're just... I'm not a pro compared to some of these guys, but these trees get a lot more baby, and then a lot of commercial guys are able to give their trees because they have, you know, my neighbor's got 100 acres, his brother is the same way. They can only do so much and only watch their ground so carefully, and with us, we're not as big a scale, so we can really pay attention to what we're doing and try to do the best job we can. You'll never get a peach like this in a grocery store. They just have to handle it too much. You know, they got to get it from here to there, and it's got to sit there, and then it's got to get to the store. And the way we pick them, like we picked them today, these people are going to come pick them up tomorrow night. They'll be eating them with ice cream, and we picked them for that. You know. Yeah, there's another beauty up in there. Oh, look at that guy. A few more days. Oh my, my. I think we did a good job though. I'm looking and I'm going, we really picked a lot of peaches out of here today. Makes me happy. But look at that. Inside of that thing. You can just see all that sugar and juice running out of there, you know. Want to try a bite?
Sure. Thanks.
That one's yours.